Are you feeling uninspired or discouraged today? Try this. Stop looking at Instagram. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of The Artist Life, where I share what I'm learning and doing as an emerging artist, hoping that it will be helpful to you on your journey as an artist or as any person who wants to live a more creative life. And if that sounds good, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe for new videos every week. I want to try something a little different this week and just talk off the cuff instead of having a scripted text over an existing piece of material. And let me know what you think if this works for you. But anyway, this week I'm thinking about Instagram. You know, time was when if you wanted to get visual inspiration, look at visual references and get new ideas to steal from, Austin Kleon says, steal like an artist. You had to really make an effort to look for it. Look at magazines, look at ads, go to museums, whatever. But now with Instagram, all of this fresh, new, exciting, interesting visual content is beamed directly to your eyeballs every day on an infinite scrolling feed. And to some extent, that's a good thing because now you have so many ideas, and if you're able to combine all of these ideas, you have more of a chance to be original. And at the same time, you can also avoid being unoriginal by seeing if somebody else has done that, and that's a good thing. But with the amount of time I spend on Instagram, my phone says that I spend 1.5 to 2 hours a day on Instagram, which is way too much. I realize that the net effect isn't making me more, but it's making me less inspired. And it does this in 3 ways. The first way is that it gets me into analysis paralysis. It's just that it makes me look at all of these ideas and it makes me so anxious almost about being unoriginal that I think too much about my work instead of just following kind of what's in my heart or what I like to do to create something original that appeals to me, that I like. The second thing that it does is that on top of making me overthink because there's so many ideas, it also makes me discouraged because on Instagram, there's so many artists and craftsmen who are just ahead of me in their work, whether they've practiced more or they have more experience or they're more popular. So they're doing these things and I'm comparing maybe their life's work, years worth of work, to me, to my month's worth of work or whatever. And when I look at this, it's easy to say that, oh man, I'm so much less talented than these guys. And the effect is the same. It makes me not want to create. And then adding up from all of these, the third way I think that Instagram makes me less inspired is that because there's this infinite feed of half interesting content, is that it puts me in the mindset of a consumer instead of in the mindset of a creator. What I mean by that is it's so much easier to just take this and do this all day long and say that you are gathering ideas or researching. It's so much easier to do that than to actually sit down in front of your computer or in front of your canvas, whatever, and try to come up with new work that's original or at least good. I've done this. I've spent months researching on my phone and on my computer, and when I finally sit down to face the challenge of creating something new, I just feel too lazy because it's so much harder than scrolling through my feed, and too discouraged, like I said, because I just looked at so much good work and what I have with me right now is 0. So in a way, it's sort of misunderstanding almost the creative process where, they say that you compare your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. And so that's all really I have to say about that today. It's just, I think that Instagram to a certain extent, again, has given us access to so much visual inspiration, but it turns us into almost mindless consumers of visual content and distracts us in the end from doing what we have to do, which is committing to sit down and just create. And that's it, another short, spontaneous episode for this week. Let me know how this format works for you compared to what I usually do. I would love to know. And of course, your thoughts on this week's topic. How is Instagram and just seeing so much material online affecting you? Is it making you more inspired, less inspired, somewhere in between? I'd love to know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you again next week.